Picture this, a vast, towering mountain, right? Its peaks just completely disappearing into this cold, swirling mist. It's a place of breathtaking heights and, honestly, absolutely perilous drops. Up here, survival demands perfection. But what happens to the one who just doesn't belong?
So I really want you to sit with that question for a second. What happens when the sky is literally your home, but you've somehow forgotten how to fly? Imagine that deep, deep melancholy. Looking up at the clouds, feeling completely tethered to the ground, just paralyzed by some invisible barrier. It's heartbreaking, right?
Section 1. The Bird Who Couldn't Fly, a Story of Isolation.
Okay, so meet Rio. He's grounded, desperately lonely, and completely trapped on this unforgiving mountain peak. And to make matters worse, he's constantly mocked for his inability to do the one thing a bird is literally born to do. Meanwhile, right above him, the rest of the flock is just soaring freely. They're diving, they're looping with absolute confidence, and that devastating gap between Rio's reality and the world above him, it's punctuated only by the sting of their laughter.
Section 2. A Feather of Courage, a Strange Discovery.
Driven away by all that mockery, Rio actually ventures deep into the shadowed, unknown parts of the jungle, and there he makes a really strange discovery. He finds this old, peculiar feather, and it's emitting this faint, mysterious glow. So you're probably thinking, a magic feather, right? Well, not quite. A wise ancient owl appears out of nowhere to set the record straight. He reveals that this glowing object isn't some magical artifact. It is actually a symbol of pure courage.
The old owl looks right at Rio and delivers this incredible, profound truth. Ye feather magic nahi, himmat ki nishani hai. Meaning, this feather is not magic, it is a sign of courage. True power, it doesn't come from some magical shortcut, you know? It comes from within. That glowing feather was literally just a mirror, reflecting the bravery Rio had inside him the whole time.
Section 3. The Great Storm Strikes. Disaster Strikes. Suddenly, things take a very dark turn. The escalation here is just absolute and terrifying. Moments ago, these massive, suffocating dark clouds completely swallowed the mountain peaks. Seconds ago, vicious winds reached howling speeds. And right now, at this exact second, a tiny bird is violently thrown and gets trapped in a dead tree, just dangling over the abyss. And that confident, mocking flock from earlier, they're completely paralyzed by the chaos. Not a single one dares to take off. Except for Rio.
Section 4. The Leap of Faith, Overcoming Fear. Rio steps up to the absolute edge of that jagged cliff. His tiny toes grip the rock as the violent wind just tears at his feathers. He's absolutely terrified, but he remembers the owl, he remembers the courage, and he jumps. Now, this is not some majestic, graceful takeoff. It is a brutal, agonizing freefall into the dark, swirling abyss below. But then, right in the midst of all that chaos, Rio spreads his wings, and for the first time in his entire life, they catch the fierce, howling wind. He stops falling. He's actually flying.
Section 5. A Brave New Beginning. A Daring Rescue.
Instantly, the entire dynamic of the mountain shifts. Rio powerfully navigates this brutal storm, executing a seemingly impossible rescue, and he brings the trapped birds safely back to the ledge. And the flock that spent their days mocking him, they are absolutely stunned into silence. Pure awe washes over them. The mockers suddenly become admirers, openly praising his incredible bravery. But Rio, he just smiles, because he realizes he doesn't need their validation anymore. He has finally found his own true strength.
Which brings us to this incredible realization. Rio reflects, Udna wing se nahi, himmat se shuru hota hai. Flying doesn't start with wings. It starts with courage. Think about that. His physical wings were never the problem. It was the fear in his mind. Once he finally found the inner bravery to take that terrifying leap into the unknown, his wings simply knew exactly what to do.
Believe in yourself. One brave step can change everything. It's such a universal truth, isn't it? We so often possess the exact tools we need to succeed, but they just lay completely dormant until we muster the sheer bravery to step off the ledge and actually use them. Rio found his courage at the absolute edge of a cliff, staring straight into the dark. So I want you to think about the ledge you might be standing on right now in your own life. What is the one brave step you need to take today to completely change your own story? Gather your courage and take the leap.